I still think Bitcoin will go up a lot faster. I still think it's possible for Bitcoin to reach 200,000 by the end of the year, and in the long run, 1 million. I think Ethereum has more upside because Wall Street is building on the blockchain and AI is also building on it. That's why we call it the biggest global trade over the next 10 to 15 years. Let's say Ethereum goes up 2 times from here until the end of the year. I believe Ethereum will go up by more than 2 times from here on out. In the BitMine talk, we did some work from mosaics, but it was more long-term. And if you look at Ethereum over 5 years, it will be worth about $60,000 per ETH. Tom Lee isn't the only person who has invested in crypto assets and tech stocks before. This is exactly why I'm showing you this important video today. If Tom Lee is right and Bitcoin does reach $1 million and Ethereum does reach $60,000, then XRP could also reach hundreds or thousands of dollars per coin. I think that's something that a lot of you would benefit from a lot. That being said, Tom Lee does share a lot of important insights on how that will happen, how Bitcoin could go to $200,000 before the end of the year, and I'm going to break down what that means for XRP once I'm done with all of his macroeconomics. Because let's be honest, Tom Lee doesn't have time to pay attention to all of the cryptocurrencies, but he does trade in a lot of them. He only needs to answer certain questions in the talks he's set up, and right now everyone is focused on Bitcoin and Ethereum. But that doesn't mean you should pay attention to what everyone else is paying attention to, because real money isn't made where everyone is putting their money right now or focused on the present. Getting ahead of the curve before they do that to the next asset class is how it's done, and I'm sure that asset class is XRP. XRP has already done better than Bitcoin and Ethereum many times, and I think it's only just begun its bull run. Hold on tight, get ready, and pay close attention, because this could change your life. Let's watch the movie. Is a Robinhood or Charles Schwab account, and they can buy a stock that holds a crypto token in the company's vault. In other words, MicroSaylor is a case study. For example, when you buy MicroStrategy, you're really buying Bitcoin, since they're buying Bitcoin with all of their extra cash. A lot of people will ask you, Tom, why do we need to own MicroStrategy when I can just buy an ETF? Okay, it all comes down to 2 easy things, I think. First, there is the world of institutional fairness. It's not likely that a fund manager will buy Bitcoin ETF when they are trying to beat the market or find alpha. So the only way for them to invest in Bitcoin is to buy infrastructure companies that work with Bitcoin. MicroStrategy is the easiest of these to do. This is the reason why MicroStrategy holds more Bitcoin than any Bitcoin ETF. I think they're second to BlackRock, but they've recently grown bigger. The second reason is that a properly run crypto treasury increases your crypto stocks faster than an ETF, since ETFs don't naturally increase their token holdings. It's what MicroStrategy calls leveraged Bitcoin. I will show you how their math worked, though. It cost MicroStrategy $1 to start their crypto bank in August 2020. At that time, the stock was worth $13 per share. By July 2027, which is about 5 years after the start date of 2025, they had $227 worth of Bitcoin kept for each share. So they made it bigger by, say, hundreds of times. From August 2020 to July 2022, or 5 years later, the price of Bitcoin went from $11,000 to $118,000, which is an 11-fold gain. The price of MicroStrategy stock rose more than 30 times, from $13 to almost $400. The rise in Bitcoin's price only accounted for 11 times. This means that their treasury plan, when carried out correctly, had a 20 times effect on the stock price. So a crypto fund that is run really well will be a stock that does really well. Michael Saylor just put up a chart that shows that since 2020, he's done better than every single Mag 7 stock. During that time, he's even done better than Nvidia. Do you think Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the rest of the market will be big in the next 6 to 12 months? I still think Bitcoin will go up a lot faster. I still think it's possible for Bitcoin to reach 200,000 by the end of the year, and in the long run, 1 million. We think Ethereum has more upside because Wall Street is building on the blockchain and AI is also building on it. That's why we call it the biggest global trade over the next 10 to 15 years. You have 2 groups of people who are probably going to decide that it's really additive, right? Don't forget that the financial system makes up half of the economy, and that on the stock market, financials are worth less than tech. I believe that finances can be re-rated in this world, but Ethereum is kind of the network value winner. The price of Ethereum is likely to go up 2 times between now and the end of the year. I believe Ethereum will go up by more than 2 times from here on out. But in the long run, we did some work from mosaics for the BitMine presentation. And if you look at Ethereum over 5 years, it's worth about $60,000 a year. There are a lot of good things that will happen in the next 5 years. Having a 50-50 chance that Ethereum could flip wouldn't surprise me. That's right, yes. So I think there's a chance that Ethereum's network value will change Bitcoin's value. One thing that isn't getting enough attention or praise is RWAS. That's how we get to 100 or 200 trillion, right? right? On the Web3 environment, some of my real estate industry friends think that putting real estate RWA on the blockchain would unlock a lot of value. This is because it would improve everything from how you verify and carry out a real estate transaction to how you keep track of and record prices. This would then lead to more liquidity, which in price discovery can sometimes mean higher prices. Of course, you get rid of the fundamental imbalances and differences in home prices that exist now. Yes, it's very important. One of the things I like about it is that it's one of the times when society sees the value in tokenizing, right? It probably makes contact lessen. I mean, I believe it's very important. They do think about wealth inequality in the future that crypto is building. It's not a focused thing, but it's important to make sure that we're not making wealth inequality worse. And I think crypto is the opposite of that. Crypto can be bought by anyone, which is why I think it's democratizing wealth production. As a whole, what we're really hoping for are rate cuts next month in September, which is of course coming up quickly. When that happens, Tom Lee is basically saying that Bitcoin could really double if we get that last rate cut in October or at the end of the year.